Hello World Wide Web, I'm Dr. Shado, the internet personality with best hair, and welcome to week 6 of...
The Summer of Jackie Chan!
Don't waste power. And I don't know if I should bother bringing up what I did finish reviewing and edit and upload on time last week, and no one's seen it yet because it's just been trapped in copyright purgatory all this time because, hey, this video might just get trapped in the same copyright purgatory, and then so much for spreading information, but never mind any of that. Rush Hour 2. The sequel to Rush Hour 2, came out 3 years later in 2001. Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker reprise their roles as Lee and Carter, and this time the story takes place in Hong Kong before moving to Los Angeles. And there are other cities this time. I mean, when you put it that way, it sounds a lot like Rush Hour again, but there are quite a few more differences this time around. First of all, if you're hoping to see more of Carter's LAPD partner Johnson, too bad she's not in this one. What is, however, is a mysterious string of bombings tied to a counterfeiting operation which involves the Hong Kong police, the American Secret Services, and the very people who took Lee's father's life. So already things are looking a bit more complicated than, who's Juntao? Probably the one guy who is obviously Juntao, but let's take a look at Rush Hour 2 and see if it holds up. Our story opens up in Hong Kong, a land of prosperity, commerce, opening credits, and incredibly calm pedestrians. But hey, if you lived in action movie land, a random building exploding carries about as much shock to it as finding out that the entire city is run by an underground cabal that profits off of everything from drug smuggling to pizza delivery. But this wasn't just any building, this was the American Embassy, and 2 people were killed. Not our heroes, of course. Lee is asked by the Hong Kong police to investigate what this might mean, but he has to keep that secret from Carter, who has no desire to do any heroics in Hong Kong. He's here for a good time.
All I did was invite them to have a drink.
You invited them to get naked and sacrifice a small goat.
Oh fuck, if you're gonna party, party hard. The Hong Kong police believe that the bombing was the work of the Triads, under the control of Ricky Tan, and Lee might be able to scope out a nightclub that they might be at, so, hey, Carter, wild idea, let's go to a nightclub. No reason, just really want to party at this particular spot for a while.
They don't like tourists in here, so try to blend in.
You mean blend in? I'm 2 feet taller than everybody in here.
Well, find a seat next to Yao Ming. Or rather, just mingle for a bit, by yourself, somewhere. Lee has to go, to the bathroom, while he actually is looking for the Triad. I mean the bathroom. However, Carter can't pass up a chance to upstage someone absolutely butchering Michael Jackson.
Come on! To the voice, yes, don't stop till you...
Well, that's just great. Now I'm going to get copyright claims from New Line Cinema and Sony. Considering Carter's method of blending in is by seducing all the women in the club to be polite to his nuts, Lee realizes he has to break the bad news to the guy.
This is a gangster bar. We are here undercover.
I knew you was lying.
As soon as you told me to go have fun by sitting in a corner quietly and not making eye contact. Me! Hearing that Lee brought them to the club so that they could be quiet and secret while fishing out the Triads, Carter figures he's got a better idea. With the power of the microphone, he simply demands the Triads and anyone in relation to Ricky Tan show themselves. Or rather, he tries to, but Lee has to translate.
各位對唔住，我朋友飲多咗，而家咧疏疏地，我同大家抱歉。
I see what's going on here.
I can't believe I didn't see it sooner. Every last one of you is Ricky Tan. Alright, line up, and hold on, I gotta go get some more handcuffs. Of course, Carter's lack of subtlety just gives the Triads more than enough warning to get the fuck out of there, and Lee gives chase. This gives our good old-fashioned scaffolding climbing chase scene.
Hold up! Oh, hell no.
And like before, Chris Tucker doesn't do quite as many stunts as Jackie Chan. So while Carter just takes the stairs, Lee fights his way up the scaffolding, kung-fuing his ass around the bamboo and taking down Triads. However, it's the lady who is clearly leading this group he is interested in, and unfortunately she proves to be much more formidable than the generic goons. Before she can kill Lee, though, Carter busts in, panting and sweating, to save the day, and then is promptly tossed off the same bamboo pole by the same mini-boss.
Who the hell was that?
played by Ziyi Zhang, the same lady who blew up the embassy, in case that wig and glasses getup was actually a better disguise than I thought. Eventually, the bamboo they are holding onto for dear life begins to break. Thus, they fall precariously down to the street below, stopping just low enough that when they do fall, it's at an easily survivable height. So, so much for hanging out of the club, I guess.
I'm sorry.
You sorry? I got somebody's old chopstick stuck up my ass, and all you gotta say to me is you sorry?
Now, Carter, that was at the after party. That's all you. Lee explains that they need to find the Triads and Ricky Tan because someone blew up the embassy and we don't know who, but, fuck it, gotta start somewhere, right? Carter isn't particularly interested in helping Lee do everything in his power to ruin their vacation, but don't worry, the next stop is a massage parlor. The best kind of massage parlor there is.
Oh my goodness. This place is off the hook. I love Hong Kong.
Okay. Gives me an idea. I'm gonna have to figure out where to fit Jackie Chanathon into the budget. However, we soon find out that while Carter is there for pleasure, well, that's a lot of pleasure, it turns out Lee is there for business, and he is yet again scoping the place out for dangerous triads.
Lee, what's wrong?
That's Ricky Tan.
That's Ricky Tan. That's a midget in a bathrobe.
Played by John Lone, who is like 5'7", so he's taller than most of the motherfuckers in Hollywood. Lee says he is very dangerous, and he's gonna call for backup. Carter, though, thinks that this is ridiculous, considering the man doesn't look like he can put up much of a fight. He's not paying Carter any attention, though, so he smashes his laptop into tiny bits of pain and circuitry. This before Lee returns and tries to de-escalate the situation, but Carter has other plans.
Look, little man, you coming with... Oh, my Lord. I would like to pay you for that laptop. I think I should do that.
Don't know. Does the warranty cover assault? No surprise, Ricky Tan was not alone, and in fact the massage parlor is just full of triad goons that can't wait to beat the crap out of Carter and Lee. This calls for an action scene. And I gotta say, Chris Tucker holds his own here. Yeah, Jackie still does more acrobatic maneuvers in his particular dance of death, but the choreography for Carter is good enough that he manages to deliver just about as much ass-kicking over the course of the battle. Unfortunately, the army of bad guys is less enthusiastic about all those new medical bills. So these two are given the strip you nude and drop you off in the middle of the street treatment. Now they gotta run naked all the way to the station, where we see the Secret Service agent Sterling, played by Harris Yulin, explaining to Captain Chin, played by Kenneth Sang, how this is a rush hour movie and therefore they can't work together on this case. American Embassy, America's Secret Service takes care of it. Before they can break the bad news to the heroes, though, they have to go get a change of clothes, and Carter has to berate Lee for ruining their perfectly fine vacation with all this triad shakedown bullshit. Yeah, it's his job, but fuck it, they're on vacation, and it looks to Carter like Lee just has no idea how to have a good time.
You'll never understand me.
You right, because I don't even understand what you just said to me right then.
So their friendship is strained. Might sound kind of cliche, but after not one but two instances of surprise best friend, we're not actually having fun. We have a bunch of people trying to kill us, and one of those being at a massage parlor. I'm surprised they're still talking. Not now they aren't. Lee leaves Carter to finish getting dressed, while he gets briefed by Sterling. It seems the Americans killed at the embassy were actually undercover customs agents after a triad smuggling ring.
How can we help you?
You can stay the hell out of our way.
Because Rush Hour movie, we've seen you take down the biggest crime lords of our time last time, but only after being explicitly told not to. So, Lee, don't you dare try and help in this investigation. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Ah well, Carter's all dressed and needs to head out to find out where his passport ended up, but not before noticing a certain wig and sunglasses bedecked cutie who does not return his affection, so, oh well, probably not that important. After all, it's yet another random explosion. And now Lee believes his best friend was caught in the blast. The last conversation they had was an argument. Oh, the tragedy! If it weren't for the fact that we clearly saw him leave the building before it blew up there, but... actually, no, it's Chris Tucker. I think his plot armor could probably survive that anyway. So while Carter is out on the town trying to enjoy his vacation, language barriers leave him inadvertently buying a new outfit and a live chicken, Lee is absolutely devastated.
All he wanted was some mushu.
But the Triads were the ones to deliver his last meal. And damn was it spicy! The still living Carter, though, while searching for that massage parlor from before, inadvertently runs across the Tan Man himself. Hopping in a cab, he demands they follow that car, which doesn't work until he actually gives them some money. But around this time, Lee gets a call from his captain, Chin, who doesn't care what the Americans say. He wants Lee on the case. It seems Ricky Tan is going to be attending a boat party tonight, and only Lee can be trusted to get in and find out the truth. Which means, of course, Carter is there too, and he does spot Hugh Lee at the party, but more importantly, sweet holy fuck, look at the tits on her!
How you doing, baby? Carter. James Carter. Baldwin Hills.
Isabella Molina.
Played by Rosalind Sanchez. Sure, talking to her is letting his only lead get away, but fuck it, if Lee can turn playtime into triad hunting, Carter can turn triad hunting into playtime. In the quest to get laid, Carter tries to play like he's rich, like super rich, always traveling around the world, flaunting his money like this party he threw on this yacht that he definitely owns. But when Isabella quizzes him on the name of the boat, he completely flubs it, and she points out it's actually the Red Dragon, and she should know.
Because this is my friend's yacht.
Your friend's yacht?
And this is his party.
I must have got on the wrong yacht. All these yachts look just alike these days.
Not just rolling with the punches, Carter's here rolling with heat-seeking missiles. The actual yacht owner would be Stephen Rain, played by Alan King. Carter recognizes him, as he's got quite the reach, all the way to L.A. Can't delve into the ramifications of that right now, as we have to see that Lee has also reached the yacht, and wants to know, where is Ricky Tan, the man who murdered a cop today?
Who got killed, man?
Connor!
Who died, Lee?
You!
Detective, you?
Not you, you!
It's like who's on first. Except, who's dead? I don't know who's in the hospital, and I don't give a darn is bleeding out in the street. With Carter's continued living established, we completely forget about that whole strained friendship thing. The two of them are caught and brought before the big bad, Ricky Tan. He's dismissing Hu Lee at that moment, and requests to speak with Lee alone. He explains that it was not him who ordered the strike on the American embassy, but he fears it was in fact the Triads. Someone is up to something and trying to take him out of the picture. For this reason, Ricky Tan wants to know if he can count on Lee for protection.
Come on!
That'd be a no. With Tan out of the picture, the Triads attack. Lee and Carter do manage to at least keep themselves alive, but unfortunately, Hu Lee escapes. And once Sterling finds out about this, he pulls all kinds of accusations out of his ass.
I don't know if the Triads paid you to get rid of Tan, or if it was a pure vendetta killing, or if you're involved in the smuggling yourself.
Maybe you planned on being caught all along, and there's more to this. Maybe you're a space alien. Lee, the Clapalathians will never win this interstellar war. Sterling tells Lee that he's off the case, and he never wants to see him again. Okay, Dad. Carter also gets told to head right the fuck back to L.A., and he's perfectly okay with that. After all, Lee fucking ruined his vacation, and for what? A sequel? Screw this. But Lee reveals a shocking revelation. It seems that Ricky Tan is a former police officer himself. Lee's father's old partner, who betrayed and murdered him, joining the smuggling ring he was supposed to stamp out.
So you getting on a plane with me or not?
What?
You know my daddy died on the job too. If I had a chance to square his death, I'd do whatever it took.
But you mean you haven't yet? The dude shot him over a traffic ticket. He was driving at the time. Car has a license plate on it, right? Should be able to find him. But as it turns out, heading to L.A. is exactly what they should do in order to keep up the pressure on the Triads.
Every big crime has a rich white man behind it waiting for his cut. Now, in our case, we know who the rich white man is, Stephen Rain.
Yeah, it's gotta say something when even the character's explanation as to how they come to their conclusions boils down to, come on, I know how these movies work. He also mentions that Stevie Boy was surprisingly calm during that big action scene over in the boat. Therefore, he's clearly up to no good. Not like them back in L.A., investigating Rain Tower by peeking in the windows. Finding Isabella has also come to L.A., and her hobbies involve hanging out with Stephen Rain and getting naked.
Slow down, baby.
What?
Huh? Nothing. I say nothing.
You said something?
I say nothing.
It's like me trying to keep my cool while YouTube's content filter is questioning whether or not my video really is suitable for advertisers. Carter decides this needs a manual review and cuts in while Isabella continues to disrobe and discovers something interesting about her.
Let me look a little closer. Oh, look at that. Got a little tattoo. That's cute. Looks like Snoopy.
Snoopy?
Yeah.
I love Snoopy.
Wait a minute.
Oh, only that is copyrighted material right there. Now your channel is in deep trouble. But before Carter can copy strike this guy, who would happen to show up than the wig and sunglasses bedecked 60s spy gal get-up girl herself, Hu Lee. Carter recognizes her as the lady who dropped off the package at the station. You know, the bomb. So the two of them rush over there and break into Isabella's room to steal the package away. Running to the roof, they come to the grim realization that some days you just can't get rid of a bomb, and they hit the deck.
Get on your feet. Enough, all right?
Put that down! There's a bomb! Put that down! Hey!
Guys, no bomb.
Yeah, looks like it's made plenty of money. Surprise, surprise! It turns out that Isabella is in fact a Secret Service agent working for Stevie under the guise of her being a crooked customs agent. Rain's smuggling operation is actually counterfeit money, which is made so accurately, the only way to tell if it's fake at all is by burning it.
They use an optical transfer ink from India that burns red, you see? Now the real ink, it burns black.
Yeah, I'm not testing that. Also, just how hard would it be for this ultra-rich criminal organization to just get the right kind of ink? But they are having some trouble. The reason Steve has been able to counterfeit cash so convincingly is because he actually has real plates with which to press his bills. But Isabella thinks she can count on Carter and Lee here to go off and dig around looking for those plates wherever they may be.
Lee and Carter are officially out of the Secret Service's way.
Or she just sent them on a wild goose chase because yet again, nobody actually wants them to help with this situation. Now, if you're gonna do that, at least ask them to get her Morning Joe. But what's this? It seems Lee and Carter are far better investigators than she might have assumed. Carter knows just where to search for any counterfeit cash. A little illegal gambling room. This introduces us to Kenny, played by Don Cheadle, who is said to have had a deal that if he did do this movie, he gets to fight Jackie Chan and speak Chinese. With those stipulations out of the way, they press him for the bills, finding out that someone did come in with a lot of fresh, sequential money that set off all the red flags, except that it passed all the tests. That is, all except the one where you burn it and it gives off a red glow. So we find out that it came from a guy named Zan, who works at Rain Plaza. Wasting no time, they head down there, and the guy working in the front desk runs like hell, leading them right to the Triads. Before they get shot to hell and back, though, Isabella steps in, saying there could be someone who wants a word with them first.
Oh, shit. What you do that for? It was unnecessary.
And nothing makes an interrogation go smoother than a concussion or two. By the time they come to, they find themselves in the back of a truck full of terracotta warriors. Fortunately, Lee is Jackie Chan, so obviously a little nylon strap isn't going to hold him for long. But what's this? The statues are meant to secretly transport the piles of counterfeit money. They have to move quick, though, as the truck is coming to a stop. Beating the surprisingly light resistance they find at the destination, they must flee before the cavalry arrive. Into the sewers they go, where they finally learn where they are after coming up on the other side.
Las Vegas?
Vegas? What the hell are we doing in Vegas?
Well, the LA and Hong Kong bit was getting a bit stale, so after that, your options are New York, time travel, outer space, or Vegas. And wouldn't you know it, they happen to be around the Red Dragon Casino, same name as that yacht that Stevie Boy owns. They figure out this must be how he's laundering all those counterfeit bills. So, first things first, change out of their poo-gas smelling clothes and head to the casino, for work this time. Who would Lee happen to find but Isabella? Seems she has an update on that little quest she sent them on.
Look over my right shoulder. That's the soft count roll. We think the plates are in there. I need you to go and get them.
Wait, so the plates are here? So, he prints the money here to then smuggle it to Hong Kong, to then smuggle it to LA, to then smuggle it back to Vegas, to launder it through a casino? Or does he just take the plates themselves every couple of weeks through customs and back to Hong Kong? And is that how it works? When Lee tells Carter that Isabella just updated their waypoint, he's a bit skeptical at this point. Her last bit of help got them kidnapped. Still, Lee insists on going forward with the plan, so Carter decides to help by utilizing his ability to get every single member of security to pay attention to him and only him.
I come ain't no black people performing in this hotel? We ain't good enough for you people?
We got Lionel Richie performing here tonight.
Lionel Richie ain't been black since the Commodores, man.
Well, hold on there, Chris. This is not the hill you want to die on. Trust me. Besides, it's much more impressive to die trying to pull off Jackie Chan shit, sneaking into the back unnoticed. Mostly, before finding out that the casinos just so happen to have far more security in the back than on the floor, and ending up in a sudden action scene, only to be deftly defeated by none other than Hu Li, who just so happens to have a handy-dandy mouth grenade with a remote detonator. You know, just to be safe. Now then, who is, in fact, the criminal mastermind behind this overly convoluted smuggling operation? Ricky Tan. It seems he only faked his death on the yacht. Which, of all the times crime movies try to pull that actually he's really alive thing, actually makes sense. I mean, he could have been shot with a blank for all we know. He fell right into the water. That was clearly a survivable fall. Yes, he could have lived. It seems Ricky here not only betrayed Lee's father in the pursuit of cold hard cash, but now he's noticing signs that his new partner, Rain, is looking to betray him. Ah well, the plan of the day is to kill Lee and Carter and get them out of his hair for good. With that in mind, Ricky Tan leaves and just assumes it all goes to plan.
Don't move! U.S. Secret Service, you're under arrest.
But as it turns out, Isabella was a Secret Service agent all along! Which we knew. But there was that question that came up of, can we really trust her? And it turns out, yes. Yes, we can. What a twist! Eventually their battle spills out on the casino floor, and Carter can join in on trying to keep Lee's head from exploding. Managing that, they must do battle with Hu Li, who puts up one hell of a fight. But it turns out she has one weakness: being stabbed in the chest by a big-ass metal blade. That'll do it. Around this time, Rain is trying to skip time with those printing plates, but Ricky shows up and just stabs his ass for it. Before he can leave, though, Lee shows up. Ricky takes this chance to offer a cut of the profits, the same offer his father got. So...
Hey, Ricky, how you doing? Lee, I see you got everything under control, man. I'm gonna go downstairs and... God damn!
Rain is dead, Ricky Tan is alive. Next thing you'll tell me is this whole adventure has been time-traveling through outer space. Lee wants to bring Ricky into justice, but unfortunately Mr. Tan keeps trying to kill them until they just have to kick his ass out of the window, leaving him to crash painfully into the cars below. By the way, buy some Budweiser while you're at it. Oh, also, turns out stabbing her through the chest isn't enough to take out Hu Li, who just so happens to have some spare C4 to bring to the climax. Looks like the heroes have to use the Zipline Express, barely escaping the blast. Therefore, happy ending! The two of them survive. The counterfeit smuggling syndicate ring of lawbreaking has been broken, and Lee even catches feelings for Isabel. However, he's going to Hong Kong, Carter's going to LA, and she's heading to New York. But then again...
I always wanted to go to Madison Square Garden, see the Knicks play.
New York City?
First class.
The Plaza Hotel?
Maybe a little mushu?
I'm trying to get laid, Carter! You think these two films haven't stressed me out? Anyway, that was Rush Hour 2, and... is different enough? While quite a few aspects do come off like they're just repeating certain aspects of the first movie simply to repeat them, such as the Americans not wanting to work with Hong Kong, or Carter and Lee being told not to do the case, or them being given bullshit assignments, other aspects I feel work a lot better this time around. For one thing, the story and mystery involved is a hell of a lot deeper. It's not crazy deep, not a massive web of names and companies who all have their fingers in the pie, but considering just how bare bones the mystery aspect of Rush Hour was, it wasn't hard to top that in Rush Hour 2. Also, when it comes to the action, while I do wish there was more of it on display, I have to say that Chris Tucker felt more like he was adding to the scenes rather than distracting from them. There's still a difference between how his scenes go versus Jackie Chan's, but when they're together they mesh quite well. The choreography works great between them, and the banter comes off more like they're friends who have been through some shit rather than individuals trying to deal with each other. On the downside, there were some parts that came and went that really seemed like interesting things to explore, but just weren't. Yeah, it's cliche as fuck that the two buddies suddenly decide that they don't like each other, but this was the case for about 2 scenes, and then they're best friends all over again. Carter's presumed death also could have given us some interesting revelations about Lee, but instead we just see he's really sad about this, and then finds out Carter is alive and well. Overall, Rush Hour 2 is a fine sequel, and it mixes things up just enough while also holding the basic themes of the first. It could be better in many aspects, but for every shortcoming it has, something else is done pretty damn well, coming in at 4 super important butt tattoos out of 5. which is built up like it might have been something super secret and important, but turns out it was just a red herring. A red herring I really didn't mind all that much. Thank you all for watching. I've been Shado, and remember, if a young lady asks you out to dinner, dancing, and goat sacrifices, probably should be really careful about that. But it might be a hell of a night.
Oh, hell no.
And publish.